If you've been scrolling through endless lists of portable extractors, trying to figure out which one actually delivers on its promises, you're not alone. I know the feeling. Those glossy photos and vague 300 psi pump headlines can make it hard to picture the machine in a real workshop or on a job site. The uncertainty of spending a good chunk of money on equipment that might sit idle because it doesn't fit your workflow is a genuine risk. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'm going to walk through why the Sandia 662300H optimizer might be the right choice for you, and where it could fall short, so you can decide without the guesswork. First, let's talk about the type of work this extractor is built for. The 12-gallon recovery and solution tanks, paired with a 300 psi pump, position it squarely in the realm of heavy-duty cleaning. Think auto body shops, paint removal projects, and large-scale concrete or epoxy stripping. If you're a professional who needs to pull lots of solvent or water quickly, the capacity alone saves you from constantly stopping to dump and refill. On a typical job where you're sanding a full-size vehicle, you could easily run through a quarter of a tank before you even notice the level dropping. That means you're moving faster, and you're not constantly pausing to swap containers, which is a real productivity boost. The dual 2-stage VAC motors are another focal point. At 6.6 inches each and pulling 25.2 amps, they're designed to keep the amp draw lower than comparable units. In plain terms, this translates to less strain on your generator or shop power supply. I've seen users who run these things off a standard 15-amp circuit without tripping breakers, which is a relief if your site doesn't have a dedicated high-amp line. The lower amp draw is especially beneficial if you're on a mobile job, say, a trailer shop where you have limited power availability. You can keep the extractor humming while the rest of your tools stay online. Now, let's address the practical strengths that most owners will notice right away. The wheels are non-skid and non-marking, 10 inches in diameter, and they roll smoothly over concrete and even rougher terrain. Personally, I've taken a model like this onto a job site where the floor was a mix of oil-slicked concrete and uneven patches, and the wheels didn't bog down. They also make it easy to relocate the unit from a workbench to a truck bed without needing a separate dolly. The root-molded polyethylene construction feels sturdy. It's the sort of material that can handle a few knocks without cracking. That's the kind of durability you need when you're dragging the extractor around a busy shop with tools and debris all over the floor. There are a few hidden trade-offs, though, that become clear once you start using the machine daily. One of the first things you'll realize is the size. A full 12-gallon tank plus the pump and motor assembly makes the unit fairly bulky. Think of it as a small chest of drawers on wheels. It's not something you'll easily tuck under a workbench or store in a cramped garage. If space is at a premium, you'll need a dedicated corner to keep it accessible. Additionally, the 300 psi pump, while powerful, can be a bit noisy. In a workshop setting, the sound level is manageable, but if you're working in a residential environment or a shared space, the noise could be a nuisance. The pump's pressure can also be a bit aggressive for delicate surfaces. You'll need to dial down the suction or use softer tip attachments when working on sensitive materials like finished wood or certain composites. Who should buy this extractor? If you're a professional contractor, a paint shop owner, or anyone who regularly handles large volumes of solvents, oils, or water, this machine aligns well with your needs. The combination of high capacity, solid pump pressure, and lower power draw makes it a workhorse that can keep up with a demanding schedule. For example, a contractor who needs to clean up after a full-scale demolition can keep the extractor running throughout the day without worrying about power interruptions. The same goes for a hobbyist who builds full-scale vehicles or large-format art pieces and needs reliable solvent recovery. This unit can handle the load without breaking a sweat. On the flip side, if you're a casual DIYer who only occasionally needs to vacuum up a few gallons of water after a home remodel, the Sandia 662300H may be overkill. The upfront cost, the space it occupies, and the learning curve of managing two large tanks can feel disproportionate to the occasional need. You might find a smaller, less pricey wet/dry shop vac more appropriate for occasional garage cleanups or small craft projects. Similarly, if your workflow is primarily dry vacuuming dust removal without large volumes of liquid, you'll be paying for capabilities you'll never fully use. Let's dig into a real-world scenario to illustrate the practical weaknesses. Imagine you're stripping epoxy from a concrete floor in a commercial.